Penny. I'm gonna, hopefully all this will work.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you, though.
Okay, Penny, we can start up our microphones. We're here at Memory Bound, and it's a creepy, witchy Halloween day, and I love it. I love it, Penny.
Yay!
Penny's here, and she's done some cool Copic coloring and lots of color schemes. Penny, I love it when you make these charts. Charts.
Yeah, they're all I got.
And what she's using today is the Hocus Pocus stamp set from Color Play or Photo Play, from Photo Play. And she's got a stencil there, and I really love the cloud that she made, and she's got a lot to show us. And Penny, we've got quite a few people that are joining us this morning for our Happy Hump Day on Wednesday, and Janet's here.
Yay,
So
Janet.
Janet's here. We love that. And let's see, what's new, Penny?
What's new?
You look really cute, by the way. I like your little skirt.
thanks.
That's so cute.
Thanks.
So
You know,
cute.
Wednesdays I call them short days because we're only open till 4. So I could feel like I can wear a skirt.
So you can wear a
On a
skirt
short
on
day.
a short day?
Yep.
A short skirt?
No, it's a long skirt.
It's a long skirt. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. Well, I want to say hello to Virginia and Dorothy and Martha's here. And I see Nancy, Jennifer. Your names are popping up and we just love it. We love it.
Oh, good.
Michelle's here and Peggy's here. And everybody, if you don't know, Peggy, who's done a lot of really cool scrapbook layouts for us, is joining our team. And tomorrow's our first day here at Memory Bound. So isn't that exciting?
That's so exciting.
So we're really
Yay.
happy, Peggy. We're happy you're going to join us. She's not going to be a civilian anymore.
Nope, and there's no turning back.
There's no going back. When you're here, you're here. So we have, we want to show you what's on special, and then we're going to get color in, Penny. So first of all, we have the Curator's Meadow, and this is from 49 and Market. And there's lots of curators, and the Meadow is the one that's on special, and it's 40% off. And honestly, we have a lot of it, and we just need to make room. We are running out of hooks, and our end caps are full, and we've got more product coming. So the Meadow, which is a really nice collection for fall. And we've got the tags, and I believe we have the ephemera and the rub-ons, the single papers. I think we have the 6x8 tablets. It's all online under, if you go to shopping and go to new and go to 49 and Market Curators Meadow. And it's going to come up automatically on sale. And some of you have purchased it already. And that's going to be on special through the weekend. So in addition to that special, I feel like we go from kind of a fall outdoorsy to the summer outdoorsy. And Beach Party, which is a Steve Duncan design. And Steve does a lot of really cool collections for Carta Bella, and he is that artist that worked for October Afternoon. How many of you are golden oldies that shopped when October Afternoon was a huge company in the industry? And I think a lot of their success was due to Steve's designs, and now he's working for Carta Bella, thank goodness. So we still have Steve in our industry. Beach Party's 30% off. It's lots of cute little images. I'm going to zoom in on them here. And we've got the sticker book, the 12x12. I can't remember if we had the 6x8 tablet. We've got individual papers. I think we've got the brads. And you're going to find this if you go to
Clearance.
Clearance. That's right. Thank you. I was just thinking it doesn't have its own category. We moved it into clearance to make it easy for you to find. And that's going to be 30% off, and it's going to be automatic. So that's perfect. So those are our two specials of the week. And just to let you know, we are still getting lots and lots of merchandise in, and you don't even want to see behind me because it's boxes and boxes, and
It's great.
It's a wonderful problem, and we love it. We all love it. So, all right, well, Penny, let's do it.
Okay.
Tell us what you got. Tell us what you got going here today.
All right. Well, let's start with some finished product here. So I did.
Show us the stamp set, maybe. So people can kind of see what we're working with.
So we're dealing with Hocus Pocus. So you get 2 sets of feet, 2 pairs of feet.
I don't know what you call that.
Yeah. And they both have advantages, and you can use them in different ways. We got the cauldron with a little extra bubbly. We have the witch's broom. We have a stirring wand.
Oh, there you go.
Put in the pot. We have stars for the night sky, big and clusters, and then we have the 2 hats.
And the little bubbles and words. I like it. I always say this, everyone, so sorry to repeat myself, but I love it when there's images and words, because then you can get one stamp set and you are good to go.
Happy spooky day. If the shoe fits, what's brewing, and
Penny's reading upside down, which is a good talent, Penny.
Best wishes to you. So kind of a little.
And if you guys are new to Memory Bound, or you haven't watched us a whole lot, Penny is our expert Copic colorer. And so you're going to love what she's done. When I saw her stuff, I looked at the colors, I'm like, oh gosh, that's so cool.
And the dies. So I almost never buy a stamp set without the dies if they're available, because they're just...
Makes it easier.
Oh, it makes it
Penny, how much are those? I'm sure Janet will...
It's $15.99 for the die set and the stamp set.
Easy to remember.
Yeah.
Easy to remember.
And then this line also comes with the stencil. And so when we were looking at it, I challenged myself to add the stencil to it. And that's the Hocus Pocus by Cartabella bat stencil.
Speaking of Steve Duncan, that's one of his designs, is the Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Halloween.
And this is $6.99, and it's the 6x6. And I liked it because it had different sizes. And
they're like in different... They're not all the same.
Right. I mean, and it's just like if you were
flight modes.
to look up into the sky, that's exactly what you would see.
And Penny, I want to just let you know that Peggy says hello and that she misses you.
Aww.
Isn't that sweet?
So I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, Peggy. You got Happy Mail coming.
Oh, yay. And we all
today.
need to wish Peggy a get well.
Yes.
Because she has not been well. So Peggy, get well soon.
So the bats I used with the Cloud Builder stencil, and I decided on a Halloween sky, and so I used the Wilted Violet Distress ink, and I just put the bats on the top.
It looks really neat. I really like that. Now we should mention the Cloud Builder stencil.
It's a Pink Fresh
It's
item.
from Pink Fresh. It's been out of stock for us to be able to order for maybe a few weeks, but it just became available, so we'll be receiving it next week, maybe even Friday. So if you want it, let us know and we'll save one for you.
And I know Teresa's used it in the past, and a lot of people already have it, so it kind of
you might already have it, and if you
tried
don't,
and true, and
that's handy.
very.
All right, so you're going to show us now what you made.
So then I went ahead and used just the cauldron, because that's kind of a symbol of the Halloween and just kind of some fun times. But then I also was thinking about campfires, and
yes, I see that.
I thought I can't just have a cauldron on the ground; it's got to have some flames, and so I just kind of created that.
So you gave it a base.
So I gave it a base, I gave it a log, I gave it a little fire, and I thought the fire should match the bubbly that's coming out. And so I used the same sort of color schemes. You'll notice that this cauldron, I did a horizontal pattern. And so I found that the horizontal is easier to color than the vertical. And I'll talk about that when we talk just about the cauldron. I went ahead and did the sand technique that I showed you earlier this summer. And I tried the sky with just a CO and a C1 stripe. And I just think it just kind of gives...
It's very subtle. I'm going to zoom in on it. So it's not white.
It just needed a little something. And I just used a round die that I had that I wanted to fill the space with. And of course I have it ready to go with my white insert. And I just put what's brewing.
Well, and I like that, Penny, because the die set, it's got the witch's hat and the witch's legs or sets of feet or whatever you want to call them. And it has the cauldron. So I'm glad that you used just the cauldron by itself.
Just the cauldron.
So we can see lots of ideas.
So then I wanted to use the cauldron with the feet. And this is actually an inspiration that came from the back.
Oh, sure.
And so I thought, well, we'll try to kind of create something. So last week, when these dies came in, and I know we're out of these right now, but it's the spellbinders.
Oh, yes.
The
arches.
The arches. I saw tombstone right away.
I did not see tombstones on that. Oh my God.
Because I was thinking Halloween, so I'm thinking tombstone. But if you look at it, you can think of window, or just an arch, or a wedding, or so I think.
But it's a great different way to use your dies.
Right. And so anyway, I had to stick that in with the sentiment, if the shoe fits. Again, I used the cloud builder in the background. And I went really different with this, because usually we use the same color, like the wilted violet, and we just make the clouds. But I decided that I wanted a different look. So I kind of isolated it here and recreated it last night.
Oh, that was nice.
So I started with the hickory smoke, and I laid a foundation of hickory smoke. Then I added the stormy sky. So I wanted you to see the difference between just hickory smoke and added the stormy sky. The stormy sky is what I did on the card on top of the hickory smoke. Then I have a layer of just the dark stormy sky. And then I did a lighter stormy sky, and then I put on top of it the tumbled glass, because I wanted that lighter color. So I did the same thing, a darker tumbled glass, and then I did the light tumbled glass. Now this will run into the ground at some point, and I just used cardstock. I thought, I'm not going to color everything, so I just used cardstock at the bottom.
I didn't even think about what was on the bottom.
And I don't know what green I used, but I just picked a green out of my scrap drawer. And I actually used 2 pieces. I used a full piece, and then I used another scrap on top of it, so I could kind of bury the tombstone in the ground a little bit.
Oh, I see.
And then I just colored the cauldron again in the horizontal stripe, and I matched the broom and the shoes all in the same color scheme. So that was that. And then I pay attention to my fellow colleagues, and I learned
see that.
so
There's 2 of
much
them right
from
there.
them. So this one was a reminder from Janet to use up your scraps. So I did. I went to last year's Halloween collection, and I had several scraps. So I cut them into my little pieces, and I made a little window. And then I added my hat and my broom with best wishes to you, and just use a couple different circles. And I had all that paper scraps left over from Katie's kit. From the Halloween.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they all coordinate,
And so I listened to Chris's video and watched it and used the stays on the metallic gold. And, there's always a funny story, because when I first got my materials together, my scrapbooking buddy and I were gonna play. And so I got everything together in my little bag and took it, and we were together, and I said, okay, so now remind me what I'm going to do. She goes, well, take your stays on and swipe it down your paper. So I did that. And she goes, now get out your clear embossing. And I looked at my embossing after I opened it, and it was white. It was like,
so this is without the embossing.
No, this is not with embossing. So I learned that
you can do it either way.
Yeah. And it's just stays on the metallic paper.
And we do have the black stays on ink if you want to give this a try, or go back and look at Chris's video, or you can go to our blog and search on Chris, and it'll pop up.
And I'll go through that tomorrow on our video.
Yes.
So I decided to go with 3 colors, and I wanted the purple, orange, and green, because those are kind of the highlighted colors of Halloween in the, comical sense. And so I decided that I would use each color on each hat, but in a different way.
Well, and Penny, what I like is that you match these stars that are in the background. They don't really pop, but they fill your background. And I think that's a great idea, to use the same color of stars.
Yeah. So that was lots of fun, and I really like that technique. So now I have several sheets of just metallic paper that have ink on it and ready to go.
Oh, so you pre-swiped them.
Yeah.
Oh, good idea.
Let them dry.
Janet made a comment that, just to let everybody know if you're listening, we are not seeing any comments. I can see Janet's comment, but I can't see anybody else's. It's probably a Facebook thing, so if you make a comment and we ignore you, it's not personal.
Oh my gosh.
We just, for some reason, and Janet's trying to see what she can do to make it work, but today for some reason, and this happened I think a few days ago, we can't see your comments. So if you need something, send us an email, give us a phone call, and otherwise we're really sorry, but maybe they'll pop up here in a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah. So as I had the scraps out from Katie's kit, I also had an extra ghost. So I decided to put the hat on the ghost, put some googly eyes on it, and of course put the broom in the back of it.
That's really cute.
You can see through vellum, so why not take advantage of that at Halloween time?
All right.
So I added my bats up in that wilted violet purple sky, happy spooky day, and then I took one of the actual die from the die set and just cut it black and just added another dimension of the bats to it. And I think it looks very cute. I love
the broom behind the ghost. I just love it. That is really fun. That's really, it reminds me of Saturday morning cartoons. Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, it looks like maybe a few comments are coming in. Peggy just said hello, hello, hello. So some are coming in and some aren't. So we'll just to update everybody.
Okay.
All right. Okay. We got the greens going on here.
Yep. The greens going on. I don't know. I've just seen several different posts that had the hat on top of the shoes. And so I thought we'll just do it. And I had some other leftover scraps. And so,
Peggy, the stars are from the die set, aren't, or Peggy. Now Penny, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so messed up. Penny, the stars are from the die, right?
The star is from the die.
Okay.
And it's a stamp set and a die.
All right.
So you can stamp it solid. It's a solid star. So you could just ink it, or
just cut it out of cardstock.
Just cut it out, and I just cut it out of cardstock.
I'm going to quit reading Peggy's messages. And then I won't be screwed up.
Oh, that's funny.
It is. I haven't done that for a long time.
Okay, so what I did was I took a piece of my hammer mill paper that I love to color on, and I used the Stormy Sky, and I just did all over. And I decided to do that, Rachel Ray style off camera so that we could move quicker through.
We love the Rachel Ray styles.
So I decided I would show you how I used my stencil, and I actually masked it. And
you did.
I mask it so that, and I see a little spot.
You're using the skinny craft tape from Spellbinders, so that's a good use for that.
And so now where's the end? It's right there.
I'd also like to mention while you get your tape that she's using the Make Art Station from Wendy Vecchi, and I have one of these at home also, and it's really nice, especially for stenciling, because you got those nice magnets that hold it in place. And I don't know about you, Penny, but I like it a lot for stenciling.
I do too.
I think it's $21.99, so it's a really good price too.
Yeah, and I love this big size. Because I can fit an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper on it, and it's kind of my go-to coloring station. So it's portable. It's great magnets.
Oh, Chris
is the best.
Thank you, Chris.
Our yellow tape comes in 3 sizes. The extra large.
I call that the Papa tape.
Papa tape.
There's the Papa tape.
This is the Papa Bear.
Papa Bear tape.
And it's $12.99. And the Mama Bear.
Mama Bear. So that's 5/8, and the other one was 1 1/4.
That's $8.99.
And then there's Baby Bear.
Got Baby Bear.
And that's 1/4 of an inch, and that's what you're using.
It's $6.99.
And the tape's yellow, so it's Goldilocks.
Chris just said the tape's yellow, so it's perfect for Goldilocks. Oh my gosh. We have creative people here, that's for sure.
So it does come in a smaller
it's kind of a travel. I think that's a 7-inch, so bigger than your card.
And then this is the size that I'm using. The small size is $14.99, and the large size is $21.99. And I know it's not.
And it does come with the ruler too.
Travel size. Yeah, and mine's just on my desk at home. But it's really nice because it's got that centering guide. So you can just center your stencil. I never understood what that was.
It's good for lining up your stencil. If you want something really straight, I think it's really good for that too.
Yep. So those are excellent. And in my world, this is portable. Okay, so I'm playing around with my stencil. I've got it masked off, and I want as many as I can get on there fully, but only take like a third of the page. So I'm looking for like these 3 big ones. I'm going to get some partials over here, and so I'm going to go with it.
I wouldn't even think about that. That's a really good tip.
So why I used the skinny tape is because I wanted to make sure I got as close to the cutout that I could, and yet then I could have went and used the Papa Bear tape on the bottom, but you just have it out, so you just use it.
You just use Baby Bear for this.
And I wanted to make sure I used enough so that I didn't seep out.
Right. Well, she doesn't want to get any ink back here below the tape.
No. So I just used these blender brushes. And this is when I decided that I was going to use black soot. I didn't have it, so it was a great excuse.
It's a new ink color for Penny.
So it's juicy. Because I like my black to be black.
If you want it to be gray, you get hickory smoke.
Right.
And it's really pretty dark.
And so then I just colored it in, and I found that I really liked it.
Well, I really like what I've seen, that's for sure. And I'm thinking that bat stencil might be something I need.
And I just want to get it black, black, black. So I'm just going over it. Now, I always like to cheat to make sure I've got what I want.
Oh, that's...
So I'm going
Your black
with
is
it.
very juicy. I think I need to re-ink mine.
We sell re-inkers at
I know.
the store.
I think I have I know where to get one, and I actually think I have one at home.
So
That looks so cool on that blue. Oh my gosh. Very nice.
that's a lot of fun, and then we could put the
So
room
that's
up
Black
there.
Soot and Stormy Sky.
Yep. That's a great color combination for sky and storm and all
here
those
she did the
things.
same type of stenciling, but this was with Wilted Violet.
Yep. All
Very
right.
cool.
So now we're going to move to the cauldron. And we're going to just do I'm going to attempt to show you the difference between horizontal and vertical. And then you can find your preference.
See what you like. And we will take pictures of all of these too and get them posted.
So you'll see that I used all of the neutrals. So I used the toner, the 2, 4, and 6. I used the cools, 3, 5, 7, and 9. I used the warms, 5, 7, and 9. And I did the neutral, the natural, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And each one looks different. And then I did a comparison of the C's, 3, 5, 7, 9, and the 5, 7, 9. And to me, it's still completely different.
Yeah, they do look different. The top one looks more warm.
It does.
So we might have some people that aren't familiar with Copic markers, and there's, I don't know, is it 340 or something colors?
Something like that.
And we carry them all here at Memory Bound. They're a really nice marker, and they're all labeled with a color family and then a number. So Y is going to be yellow, YR is yellow-red. What she's talking about are the gray colors, the neutral, the toner,
Yeah.
and the warm.
Right. So I'm going to grab the neutrals, and I'm going to go.
And then
3,
show
5,
us
7, 9.
show us how those are labeled too, Penny.
Yeah.
Copic markers, they're an alcohol ink marker. They're great for coloring because they naturally blend. You don't have to be real
No,
artist as far
no,
as
because I am
shadows
not.
and things.
I am not an artist. I like to color. So N3, N5, N7, N9. These are the natural grays.
And these markers are refillable. And if you're local, Penny does marker refills for people. You just bring them here to the store.
And if you're not local and you want to ship, we've already had a shipment
Oh, well, yeah, we can do that too.
from Illinois.
And it's $2, right?
$2 a marker, unless we have to do a lot of nibs, and then I have to charge you for the nibs because
Yeah.
they're getting expensive also. So, and if you're coming to the crop,
Yeah.
if you want to let us know what colors that you have that you want to get refilled, I can make
Penny
sure
will
that I
make
have
sure
them.
that she has them.
Yeah. All right. So we have our naturals out, and we're going to do we'll start with the horizontal. So the marker itself has two ends. One is a chisel end and one is a brush nib end. And I never knew there was a difference until someone goes, well, it's the gray striped end.
Oh, yeah.
There's a gray stripe here. That is your indicator that that's the brush end. The non-gray end is your chisel end. The chisel end I like to use for wide areas if I'm doing a lot of coloring, or on the opposite spectrum, if I want the very fine tip, you can get right up on that tip and get very, very fine pinpoint marker tip colors. All right, so we're gonna start with the N3, and I think I said,
Are we doing horizontal or vertical?
we're gonna do horizontal, and we're just gonna start by giving it a once over. And so I'm just using the brush nib, going over, and it takes up to 20 to 30 seconds for that ink, once it just sits there, to do anything. And so sometimes you just have to relax. You have to wait for the ink to do its thing. Now, when I was, about 20 years ago, I had some markers, Crayola markers. And, I used them for a poster, and it drove me nuts to have those lines there. And so I still find myself kind of battling those little lines that I don't like.
But they're not going to be there for long.
Nope. So now I'm going to jump to the darkest, because I know I want to start creating the illusion that this is round. So I'm going to make it darker on the outside edges, but then it's also around the bottom. And now I'm gonna flip it over, because I like to flick left to right a lot of times. And the nice thing about this is that if you really stop and look, I was standing at my kitchen window watching the squirrels yesterday, and I happened to notice the evergreen trees. It was just all shady, but there's this one spot that was bright because of sunshine. It was sunny, and it was like, that's our reminder that we don't have to try to be perfect when we color. If you look out at nature, there's spots, and there's clouds, and there's all different kinds of things. All right, so we're gonna leave N9, and we're gonna back up to N7. We're gonna start pulling that darker color inward.
So we started with the light color, then we went to the darkest color, and now this looks like it's the second to the darkest color.
Yeah, this is N7. So we're gonna fill in more spots. All right, and then we're just gonna back up another number to the N5, and we're gonna pull everything in.
So she's going from the edge. She's not just starting in the empty space in the middle. She's going all the way from the edge.
Because I want it to go back over.
Well, and that's the thing about the alcohol ink. It will just kind of blend itself together. Like Penny said, if you just give it a little time, then before you know it, you're going to have something like this over here.
Then we're going to back up one more, and we're going to take that lightest color, N3 again, and I'm just going to hit the middle spot to fill it in.
Penny, that looks good. Just like that, it looks amazing.
And then I'm going to back up to the next to the darkest, and I'm going to just create a few little lines.
I don't know about our viewers, but I think coloring is just kind of relaxing. When you're coloring, you're not thinking about the problems or what's going on in the world or what's for dinner or the laundry that's sitting there. You just kind of get in a little coloring world. Penny, that looks awesome.
So, you know, and you can let it sit, and a lot of times I will let things sit overnight. I'll look at it the next day, and it's like, okay, I really do like that.
I love it. Or maybe I'll add a little more.
Right. I'm going to go back to my N7, and I'm going to go ahead and do the feet. Not the darkest, but the next to the darkest, and I just colored them in. That's all I'm going to do. I'm also going to take N7, and I'm going to color in the inside of the pot. And I'm just going to color it in. So that's the inside. Then I'm going to back out to my 5. And I'm going to do a once over the front, because I think the front would be a little darker than just the rim.
Yeah, I agree.
And so the rim on the back would be my lightest.
Oh, I'm surprised at that. So,
because the light would hit it the most.
mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to hit the front of it because I want it a little darker. And there we go.
And Penny, that looks amazing. So if you're just joining us today, Penny's here with the Copic markers, and she's coloring the cauldrons from the Hocus Pocus stamp from Photoplay. And she just colored in what we're calling horizontal, kind of the barrel look. And then are you going to do it with the vertical?
We are, and we're going to take the same color scheme, and we're going to go in the same way.
So we're going to go in the same order, start with light.
We're going to start with the lightest, the N3, and we're going to do that once over, because that puts ink on the paper, and it lets everything else react to something right away. And it also gives me that filled in, automatic filled in part.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then we're going to go to the darkest. That's the N9. We're going to do the same thing, except now we're going to go up and down. So I'm going to do a once on both edges and down around the bottom, a little bit easier. And then I'm going to flick down from the top.
So you're kind of doing the same thing, but you're just doing it vertical instead of horizontal, like the same steps.
Yep. And I'm going, I would call that a third of the way. Then I'm going to bring it down a little bit farther on the edges. And then start at the bottom. And they're still kind of curved because the pot is, you know, like a cylinder. And so you have to curve it on one side, curve it on the other side, and then kind of go straight in the middle. All right, so that's enough of the darkest. Let's go to the N7. Continue up.
And one thing while you're coloring, Penny, that I want to mention is if you're going to do some coloring with your Copics, or maybe you're using Tombow or watercolor, you'll notice that Penny has pre-stamped quite a few things. So if you're stamping, you might as well stamp a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah.
And then you've got a lot to color rather than stamp a cauldron, color a cauldron. So, and then if you color it and you don't like the color, you've got another one right there to color again. And then a lot of people, I know Katie does this, where they'll stamp them like the brooms she has, and then they'll color them in different colors and write the colors that are used. So if you want to go back and color them again, you don't have to try to figure out what your color, especially when there's 340 some.
Right, and I like to keep these sheets because I like to see what the colors are.
Yeah, this would be good to put in a notebook.
Yes.
And these are the witches' hats and legs that Penny has colored. And we were looking at them yesterday, and I think this one is really fun with the yellows and the blue greens. It's very whimsical. And then she's got a real traditional with your yellow, oranges, and grays. And then I think the purple and green is kind of a traditional Halloween also.
Yeah.
And those are the violets and the yellow greens. And then, Penny, I saved this one for last because look at those colors.
I really like those colors.
It's just very different. Even if you're going to do flowers or something, I think that would be really beautiful.
Yeah. And it's not what I would call automatic blending colors, because it's the R85, the R56, and the RV69.
So it's got reds and red violets and the yellow green. And the yellow green she used on both of these, but just different numbers, different markers of the yellow green. Oh, that's looking good too, Penny.
All right, so I'm doing the top of it just the same as I did horizontal, because the band is horizontal. And grab the N3, do the back.
So the Copic markers, I believe they're $7.49 a marker.
Yep.
There's over 300 colors. They're refillable. You can get new nibs for them if your nibs wear out. But the marker itself, you never have to replace.
Unless, of course, you have an unfortunate accident or the crack appears on the inside of the barrel.
That is going to dry out very rapidly.
And I found one of my own markers that had a crack in it.
Oh.
And I don't know why that happens, but
I'm going to, Penny, while you do that, I want to show them your markers that you brought today. Now, is this your whole collection here?
Yep, that's it.
So it all fits perfectly in that tote.
Yeah, so I'm going to have a problem when I go shopping.
When you go shopping and get more colors, you're out of room.
I really am out of room. I really am. And I'm not at 300 yet, so. But there's not a whole lot of colors that I need. Okay, so horizontal, vertical. I'd probably still play around with this one a little bit.
They look good. I like it.
But there we go.
So we should have people vote if you like the horizontal or you like the vertical better. Or, they're both good for different things.
Well, and some people are just...
it's what looks best to you.
Well, and it's easier for them to color one way or the other.
I never thought about that.
Or maybe it's in a position or something that you have to do it. So sometimes it's good to try it both ways. I like to stretch myself. All right.
Very fun.
So that's the cauldron. So I thought I would just do a broom or something and show you how I did it. Okay. And I'm going to go with the traditional, my E3.
Penny, what does E stand for? I'm having
the earth tone.
Oh, earth tones. I was having a bit of a mind fog. So she's going to use the earth tone. She's pulling out her markers, and then I'll just show you that this is the stamp that we're using today. It's Hocus Pocus from Photoplay. And she's showed us how to color the cauldron. And now we're going to do a broom. And this stamp set, like we said earlier, it's $15.99, and it does have some nice little phrases that you can use. And if you like to have a die that goes with your stamps, we do have the die set also. It's a really fun set.
All right, so I grabbed out my earth tones 3-3 and 3-5. It's kind of a go-to color combo that I like to use. The 3-3 is the lightest, and then we have the 3-5. So I'm going to show you, depending on your perspective and your opinion, it's what you like better. Sometimes the handle would be the lightest at the broom end.
Oh.
And if you hold it with dirty hands, the top of
Oh
it
my gosh, you're so true.
would be darker. Okay? And then just mint those together. Okay? Or maybe you've worn off all the color, and so the top of it...
Penny, I'm going to go home and look at my broom and see, is it top dark or bottom dark?
Right?
I'd have to find it.
All right.
I like how you just flip. You just flip those
we
markers
go.
back and forth.
Now I think you'll see more of a notice here.
Yeah. There's more space to see the lightness.
So that's kind of fun. But you don't have to do that. Take your E35. Whoops, I got out of the line. And there you go. You can color it darker
it's so
over
small
there.
that it probably doesn't matter. Oh, I see.
There you go. So you don't have to be a blending queen, and I'm certainly not a blending queen. So then I even thought of this last night. You know, you could do that E35 around the middle and call that part a day, making sure you get the right color lids on the right color markers. Then I found a new friend, and my new friend
like?
is E40. It's a brick white.
And did you have this in your stash?
I did, but you know what? I kind of like it.
Oh, I like it too.
Because it's a little bit of color, not much, but it's a lot of fun. And I think I might use that one more and more. But then I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to lay a foundation, let the colors do it. And then I pulled out the 4s, because I don't pull out my 4s a lot. So I have the 4-3 and the 4-4 and the 4-7. And this would be more of a natural blending pattern group to go with. I'm going to pull out my darkest, and I'm just going to flick the curve of the broom.
And you know, a lot of people ask, I want to get started with Copic markers, but I don't know what colors to get. And it really depends on what you want to color. If you're coloring Halloween things or flowers or people. And Penny is here today, so if you wanted some help with that, feel free to call. And she could probably help you pick out some colors to get started. We also have a list here at the store of some basic colors.
And there's lists out there online too.
Sure.
And different people will say different things. And,
That's very true.
It depends on what you like to do. Definitely. And then I just kind of started with the darkest, went to the lightest, and I'm going to touch it up again with the darkest just to give it a little bit more
Make it look more
definition.
More bristly.
Yep. And there we go. We have a broom. Now, could you have done it with 2 colors? Absolutely. I would go with the 4-3 and give it a color. And then I would use the 4-7 and I would give it the texture of the broom. So again, you don't have to be blending. You can just give it that hint of, oh yeah, that's a broom. So I'm trying to give everybody of all skills something to think about and to try.
Here's Penny's broom samples. And you know, our samples are cards, but this could be easily used on a scrapbook layout. In fact, it would be really cute.
Oh, yeah.
Penny, what if you had a photo and you put the hat on the top and the legs on the bottom of the picture with like a purple photo mat? That would be really adorable.
Wouldn't that be fun? Oh, fun.
You like your brooms.
Okay, so I wanted to do a hat and foot combination, but I don't care what color we do. Do we want to try to create one of the other colors? Do you want to do your favorite colors?
I think we should do a different color than these.
Okay.
Because we've got these.
You want to tell me what color you want?
So I've got to pick a color?
Yeah, because, you know,
oh, okay.
we all live life on the edge.
Let's see, you've got purple. Let's see, what about, now this is weird. But what about like red and blue for like a patriotic witch?
Why would you have
A patriotic witch? I don't know. You might. It might be your school colors.
Oh, Kelly.
I'm making it challenging. And wait. How about pink? Can we do one in pinks for October and Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
Absolutely.
Okay. Does that make more sense than patriotic? Penny's picking out her colors.
Okay. So what's the breast cancer pink color?
Probably.
Is it?
I don't think it matters. I see all kinds of colors. I see some good pinks in there, Penny.
Wait a minute.
You choose.
Okay.
You
All
choose.
Right. Let's.
I'm going to show them these cards while you do that. Penny, you pick out your colors, and I'm going to walk over here a minute while you pick out your colors, because I really put her on the spot. So while Penny's picking out her pinks, I'm just going to show you as a reminder yesterday's video, if you joined us. I hope you did. We were using the Tim Holtz Leaf Prints number 2 stamp set, and we made some really fun cards. We also used the background, the ledger script, and I've used this before. We used it with Jolly Santa, and we actually put it on a scrapbook layout, and there's one of the pages of that. And we made some cards, and you can find these if you go to our Facebook page, which is where you're at right now. And this is our video from yesterday if you want to learn more about this or how we made them. And we'll also have it on our blog. And we also picked out an odd color yesterday. We did our leaves in purple, but I have to say they actually turned out kind of cool. So that was the Leaf Prints 2 from Tim Holtz stamp set. It's $29.99, and the ledger script is $24.99. And here I'll zoom in on those leaves. We did a lot of, we stamped them and cut them out and layered them. So Penny, are you getting started over there?
Oh yeah.
Well, that worked out well because I wanted to give everyone a reminder from yesterday. Okay, we're doing our pink breast cancer awareness witch hat and feet.
So I chose a more muted natural blending group R81, R83, and R85. And I've started with the lightest color. And again, I'm just going to lay down that color on the front of the hat. This is my favorite hat of the two.
Well, that's got the patch on it.
Yeah, and
that's got the cute patch, which you can add more color to. And the other one's got like a skull. So it kind of depends if you want a patchy or a scully witch.
Right. I'm going to go to the darkest, which is the R85, and it's going to be the underneath side. So I'm going to bring it up from the bottom, and then I'm going to bring it in from the side.
Penny's probably not going to ask me what color to do it next time, but
sure.
I think this is fun. I think people like it, and
then I'm going to go to the medium color, which is the R3, and I'm going to blend it out, which again, these are kind of natural, so they play pretty well together.
You don't have to do this, but when you're blending or starting new, if your first number, which are the 8s here, they blend very well together. But you don't have to have the same number to blend.
And there's always exceptions to the rules, just like I before E, except after C, and blah, blah, blah. And,
Penny, I love that color. I think that's really nice. And I've never worked with that color, those R8s.
All right, and I really like...
It's not too bright. It's not too pastel. It's just right.
We're back to Goldilocks.
We are back to Goldilocks. So remember, we do have the 3 Goldilocks tapes. We have Papa Bear tape, Mama Bear tape, and Baby Bear tape. I hope Spellbinders is watching because they'll probably rename their product.
Yep.
It's not going to be Best Ever Craft tape anymore.
Nope. Not even close. All right, then I'm going to take that lightest color and we're going to give the whole hat a once over on the top part, down to the patch.
I love it, love it.
And the band.
You make it look easy, Penny.
All right, then we're gonna go to the darkest color, the R85. We're gonna start at the top and we're gonna work around it. The bottom part of that would be away from the light, so it's gonna be the darkest. Gonna bring it down, flick in a little bit. I'm gonna take that medium color. I'm gonna fill in the rest of the point and I'm gonna bring it around, stretching that color to the patch.
It's looking really good. People are sending hearts and thumbs up because I think they like this color.
Oh, wrong one. And then I'm gonna take that lightest color and I'm gonna go back over it and get those colors to...
See, everyone, how the colors the ink just blends together, that
Let's
alcohol
see.
ink.
Wouldn't Dawn say just like butter?
Yeah, exactly.
Just like butter. Okay, so then I think my B's, and I'm gonna go with the B9 series. And let's try the 9.5 and 9.7. I grabbed the 9.9 if I need it. The 9.5 is my lightest, and so I'm going to check to see how light it is. And that's plenty dark. So I'm gonna go 9.7. On top of it, and I'm gonna go 9.5 the other way.
Oh gosh, that looks good. Now, if you would have picked out a green, Penny, it would have been my 1990s family room colors.
Oh yeah?
Remember the mauve?
Oh yeah.
They were really popular. And they still are. They still look beautiful together.
Okay, so there's my
there's a hat.
B9.5 and 9.7. So, and then just to be ornery, because that's me, I can be a little ornery.
No, not Penny.
There's my laugh. Okay, we're gonna go gusto. Go
Ooh,
big
we're
or
going
go
brights.
home.
Now we're going to the bright pinks. Well, I think it's nice because then people can see the different colors.
This is how I would do the legs.
So so this is nice to know, because if you're trying to color those stars,
I wouldn't.
you would try to do that?
Nope, I wouldn't. Now, your darkest spot is inside the shoe in my world. So I'm going to take the darkest color and I'm going to go down and bring it up.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go very far. And then I'm going to back up to the RV04 and then I'm going to pull it up farther.
Penny, we got another message from Peggy. She said that the last time you laughed, Charles walked in the room and said, "That's Penny." People know Penny's laugh, that's for sure.
Yep.
If Penny's working and you walk in the front door of Memory Bound, you'll hear some great laughter.
I'm surprised Cole and Patty aren't going nuts. Ooh, where's Elliot?
Oh, they're looking for Penny's little doggy,
my
little puppy dog.
So that's what I would do with those pinks. And you know, it's really kind of fun.
It is. You know, you did a whimsical one on this color with the blue greens and the yellows. And I think you could do the same kind of whimsical thing with the pinks.
All right, so then I grabbed a different blue set
I
to
was
go
even
with
going to
it.
say, use this kind of a blue, and you are.
Oh, I just grabbed it. It's a little bit different.
It's a little different, but still.
But it's BGO1, and then I grabbed BGO2. and I went with BG05.
Now I'm liking the bright colors.
All right, so I just want to get them in my hand correctly.
I love the hat because you colored that really nicely, and it blends really well.
And I'm starting with the big guy here. I'm going to start with the darkest, and I'm going to think the darkest is on the bottom. So what I did was I started at the heel, and I went up, and I went down. And then I immediately went to the next one, which is the 02. And I tend to do one shoe at a time.
Okay, I was going to ask about that.
Because it's really little, and there's ink on there, but not a lot of ink. We're going to go around that toe a little bit more, bring it up to the side. Those are playing pretty well together also.
Yes, they are.
And then BG01 is the lightest. And we're just gonna try to do.
So if you think about it, the light hits the top of your shoe, and so that should be the lightest, unless you're hanging upside down or something. But otherwise,
then your shoes wouldn't be on.
Maybe not.
Then I take that darkest color and I'm going to the inside. And that's how I would do the shoe.
Penny, I love it. I love those socks, the way you did those. So we will have Penny write her colors on this sheet also, and we'll post a picture of all of her great coloring, because it is really amazing, Penny.
All right, so I thought I would end with my sky. My creation of the sky.
Okay, now this is the stencil, the cloud stencil from Pink Fresh Studio. And here's the package. It's empty because it's Penny's. They've been out of stock. We tried to order them when Penny decided to do this demo. They're $6.49. They might be $6.99 now, I don't know. But it's called Cloud Builder, and it's coming. It came into stock just yesterday, so we should probably have it maybe Friday, but probably Monday. But right. It's a possibility. It's a possibility.
I gotta leave those pinks and blues out. Okay. So what I did was I picked the spot of the stencil that I wanted, and I secured it down. And then it was hickory smoke. This is how I keep my...
I know a lot of people do that, and it works really well.
It does.
You got your foam with your ink pad.
And I know these need to be re-inked, but they're perfect for this project. Just
so
the way they are.
Are you doing this guy here, Penny?
Yeah.
You're doing that one. Okay.
Yep.
I didn't even see it. Okay.
So I'm starting with the hickory smoke. And each time you do this,
hickory smoke looks bluer than I thought on your finished project.
It's because it's really not, this is the only part that's plain.
Yeah.
I didn't know how relaxing inking and
I know it is.
is.
It's just fun, and it's something you can just be creative with. I mean, you could make a pink sky.
Yeah.
You can make a patriotic sky, Penny.
So there we go. We've got the hickory smoke laid down, and then we just put that guy away, and then we move over to the stormy sky. And we do stormy sky on top of.
Oh, that's what you meant. So that's what made it more blue. Okay.
Because it's darker night.
Well, and distress inks are a little bit slower drying. They're a dye ink, and they're made to blend together. I feel like I'm repeating myself because we said that the Copic markers were like that, but so are the distress inks. Oh yeah, that changed a lot.
I mean, and that's night sky right there, night sky. And so I thought, that's the look I really like, but it's not always like that. So then I went to the opposite. I flipped it over. And clouds aren't always straight.
Yeah,
so
you want them to be different.
You want them to be different. So I just kind of chose a different area, and then I'm just gonna do Stormy Sky by itself. Kind of dark, because it's just the next layer. But that's not straight at all. Can't work. And you want it darkest next to the stencil, and so that's where I tend to start.
That's a great tip, because you want to have kind of sharp lines along here.
But then the rest of it, you know, you just can just
Kind of
add as
blend it
much color. But you know, if you look at the clouds in the sky, they move all the time. So they don't have to be perfect. All right, so then we're gonna bring it down another one. I'm gonna move it over so my clouds look a little bit different. Angle it maybe just a little bit. Now I'm gonna go lighter Stormy Sky. And I'm just not pushing down as hard. I'm still wanting that defining line on my stencil. And once I have it, I feel that's pretty good. I'm just gonna take that one off, and I'm gonna go to my tumbled glass and switch out the color and add that on top.
Oh, on top.
On top.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
That's what makes it look different.
Yeah.
Okay, and she's got her directions here that I will take a picture of. So when it says lighter on the Stormy Sky and then tumbled glass on top of it.
See, now that's a completely different look. It's a completely different color. So then maybe you want some big clouds then.
So she's using the Cloud Builder stencil from Pink Fresh Studio, and we have those on order. We should be getting them Friday at the earliest, and probably Monday. Yeah, Penny, that looks really neat. So now you're just doing tumbled glass.
Now I'm just doing tumbled glass, and I'm going up all the way through, so there's really not a whole lot of white. And then I'm just gonna do one more, just so that I know my grass will hit it at some point.
And now she's doing a lighter tumbled glass. So here you can see she did the same thing on this card, and then she's got the green card stuck at the bottom. So she's just going low enough to know that she'll be low enough, that her grass or ground or wood planks or whatever she's going to put at the bottom. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. Good color choices for sure.
So I think you will find that your Stormy Sky and your tumbled glass and your hickory smoke can give you lots of fun nighttime sky combinations. And don't be afraid to mix your colors. I see a lot of just, you know, solid colors.
I know. I would never have put two colors in the same spot.
And I think because I color, it made me think of that.
Yeah, well, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
So,
oh my gosh, lots of hearts, Penny. I think
Yay.
everybody loved it. Thank you so very much. And I love Halloween. And we had our Halloween project yesterday afternoon, and then we got our Halloween project today, and we've got more Halloween to come
we got
too.
a kit putting together.
We have a Halloween kitting going on right now. We have a lot of kitting going on right now. So, and then Penny's going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to have a tutorial on how to find things on our blog and on our website, and we'll have some new product to show you, and we'll have 2 Halloween card kits to show you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Halloween keeps on going. So Penny, thank you so much for sharing your Copic coloring skills.
Absolutely. If there's any requests, just let us know.
Yeah, let us know if you have a question. Give us a call or send us an email, and we hope to see you soon.
Yes.